This tutorial will help you set up your gradebook as a declarative teacher. The first thing that you're going to do upon logging into Infinite Campus is ensure that you are looking at the right area of Infinite Campus. My screen is displaying the area of Infinite Campus designed for teachers, so I see my gradebook and various other features of the teacher side of Infinite Campus available to me on the left-hand side of the screen. If I do not see this view when I log in, I will go over and click on the 9 small boxes and toggle from this view, which is Campus Tools, back to Campus Instruction. Campus Instruction is where teachers are going to spend the majority of their time in Infinite Campus, and the gradebook is probably where they will spend most of that time. Once you get into the gradebook, you are going to see that you can use the term, the section, or the grading task area to select or filter out what you are working on. In this case, I'm working on section 11 of English 9. I'm going to need to set up my categories, and that's true for each section that I teach. I'm going to click on categories. I'm going to add a category. In this case, I'm going to add a formative category. If I'm a declarative teacher, it doesn't matter what weight I put in here, so you can leave it as 0. Because it's a formative, I do not want it to be included in the proficiency estimates, and so therefore I'm going to select exclude from calculation. This is the most important area for a declarative teacher. Whether or not this box is checked drives whether or not the scores earned by students in these categories impacts the proficiency estimate that you will see as a teacher. I'm going to attach this category to the sections, both sections of English 9 that I teach. I can do just one or the other if I wanted to, but in this case I wanted to attach to both, and I'm going to attach it to all of the standards. I do this by selecting the box in the gray row. I do not want to attach this to any of the grading tasks, the quarter progress or the semester grade. So this is how you want to set up your category, and click Save. I'm going to have 2 categories. I'm going to have a formative and a summative. Again, I don't care what the weight is, but I am going to leave this box exclude from calculation unchecked. If I wanted to, because I want the summative to be 100% of the weight, I can do that for my own purposes. It just reminds me that this is going to be 100% of the student's proficiency estimate. I'm going to put this on both sections. I'm going to put it on all of the standards. I am not going to attach it to any of the grading tasks, and I'm going to click Save. I am now done adding categories. The next thing I'm going to do is go to the Grade Calc options, and I can, above the gray line, control what happens to all of the standards below the gray line. So in this case, I'm going to say I want proficiency estimate rubrics, and you can see that it impacts all of the 4 standards that are in the class. And if I set it to, say, power law, that changes it for all of the standards in the class. If I want some of the standards to have different means of proficiency estimates, I can change that discrepantly on each one and then click Save. You'll note down at the bottom that it does not allow me really to do anything with these because I will not be using any type of proficiency estimate. I have no categories attached to these. These are the 2 grading tasks that as a declarative teacher I am going to declare after assessing the student's work in each of the other standards. I click Save, and I am now able to add an assignment. When I add an assignment, I just have to give it a name and an abbreviation. If it's active, it will be included in the proficiency estimate calculations. If it's checked Campus Portal, parents and students will be able to see it on the portal. I need to give it an assigned date, I need to give it a due date, and a gradebook sequence. I'm going to leave it aligned to the gradebook. I'm going to select here the first standard. I'm going to make it a summative assessment, and I'm always going to leave the scoring type as a rubric. For best assignment creation, I'm going to add a description of information for students. It also shows up for parents. You can make a link to a Google Doc. You can add images, tables, and you can edit it in this WYSIWYG editor. Save it. And now you've created your first assignment, and in this case I only attached it to English 11, or section 11, English 9. Close it, and if I wanted to, I could go put scores in here. And that is how You set up your gradebook and enter an assignment if you are a declarative teacher.